Great. Guys, good morning and welcome to today's session. Please confirm that you can hear me, please. You may just unmute, just so I'm sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear me.
Oh, great. Great. Thanks. Oh, great. Thanks for confirming that. Great. So let's go straight to the conversation for today. So today is actually not going to be about slides and the conversations around just structured teachings and all. No, today's session is going to be more like a conversational session where we get to talk, where we get to pretty much see things from a more realistic point of view, because I want to believe that a number of you here joined possibly tired of your current profession, or you feel you are localized, because sometimes the topic of today, which reads from local employment to global opportunity in the AI era, may come off as though we are referring to local roles, like rules in third world countries and all. No, that's not what we are referring to. So we're talking about roles that are localized. So if, for instance, you are currently in the UK and you are involved in a particular role that is localized within the UK, that is there, domicile within the UK, and you feel stuck, you feel like you're not moving forward, that's the kind of job we're talking of as well. If you are in the third world country, as well, if you are somewhere in Africa, the Nigeria, for instance, Nigeria, South Africa. South Africa is even a bit more better in terms of ranking, global ranking of economies. But we're talking of countries that are less advantaged, right? That people could also seek opportunities like global opportunities, like sponsorship roles and remote roles as well. Those category of people are also focus of today. Now, if you are in any other country, first world country, second world country, whatever country you're currently residing, and then you feel that what you currently do is being localized, like you find your life revolving around that space, the objective of today's session is to open us up to opportunities that exist outside our localized space, to open us up to opportunities that exist without where we are currently residing. In fact, that unlocks a different level of opportunities for us. But you find that global opportunities open you up for even more. It gives you that leverage to be able to pitch for more, to be able to want more, to be able to do more for the world. And you are, of course, by doing more, you're able to earn more, you're able to become even more, you're able to do even more for yourself and for whoever, that must have motivated you for wanting to do, more. So the idea today really is in this frame, and I would like for us to just put ourselves in this mindset that there is always something out there. There's something outside where we reside, outside our local and environment. There's something for us even outside there. And if we begin to think about these things that I've just highlighted, you find that there will be need for you to pick up certain lessons or certain learnings or certain trainings that would further position you, to securing global opportunities, to securing, because these global opportunities also come with its own global competitiveness. It comes with because of course such opportunities are being chased by several other persons from different parts of the world. In fact, I want to tell you from my experience, looking at global opportunities, I would give a big kudos to countries like India, Pakistan, because I've worked in different capacities at different global stages, and I find these two category of people, the Indians and Pakistans, fielding very much in those areas. Would be looking at the actual conversation. Of course, we started out with the global shift in work. So we started talking about how it is that some of us feel we boxed into a particular space, either by what we currently do within a particular country or company or economy. So you would find that at the end of the day, what is actually changing is work, the way work is done. That's actually what is changing. Now, if what is changing is the way work is done, trust me, it's important that we remember how work was changed, by global phenomenons. For instance, like the COVID, right? Things are always changing. So COVID at the time changed work forever, because before COVID, you could find instances like walking into offices, work happening in the offices, hiring was local, largely was local. So then you would find that localized opportunities had prominence, had advantages, because people would always say, oh, you have to be located within this space, you have to be located within this region, you have to be. So a lot of people were migrating, a lot of people were traveling, a lot of people were doing a lot of things because they needed to be positioned, they needed to be within that local space where the work was was being offered, especially lucrative jobs. So people could do anything to travel. So people could take loans, people could seek financial assistance from their from companies, from friends, to see that they travel to these opportunities. Now, COVID struck, and then the world was opened up to these opportunities. So the world now embraced what we call remote working. And remote working now further made it possible for people who do not have money, for instance, who cannot take loan to travel, who might have their dreams somewhere in Australia, and then they have their dreams in Germany, in Canada, or anywhere in the world, and then they are residing somewhere else. For instance, Raymond highlighted how he is currently in the UK and a friend is working in the US. People like that, for instance, now have the opportunity, and that's the only reason Raymond's friend is working in the US and resident in the UK, because after COVID, remote working became a thing. It exploded, it became a thing. A lot of global hiring happened. In fact, companies became even better because they now realized that this local talent, we could actually have more and pay less. All right. So if I employ someone, or I'm a UK company and I employ someone in India, I could actually offer them less, provided that of course, I'm operating within the legal framework. In fact, yeah, okay, we'll get there. So provided I'm operating within the legal framework, I could actually hire someone within Pakistan or within the UK, or within India, or in Nigeria or in Kenya. I could actually hire someone outside the UK, and then I'm able to pay them less. So the company is saving some more money for themselves. So the company is saving money, not just the monies they would have paid to the local hires. They are saving monies. They are saving their infrastructure, because if it were to be a working staff, you would be provided with certain tools, you'll be provided with certain, so there will be rent, there will be this, there will be that. So a lot of things already, like running operational costs. Companies are saving themselves from operational costs. Companies are saving themselves from hiring costs. So a lot of things. So these companies are seeing the advantages, and that's why they are open to hiring from outside. They are open to hiring from outside. All right. So now, imagine that COVID happened and companies are looking for more skills because they realize that a lot of people outside the local environment are very skilled. So imagine that there is now AI, because now the era we are currently at is AI driven digital transformation, cloud, global collaboration tool that are available to everybody, and anywhere you are currently residing, you would have the opportunity to interact with AI. And what does that do? That enhances the ability of transforming even faster digitally, because what a business analyst or what the company, for instance, could achieve in, say, 1 week before now, the company is now able to achieve it in just a matter of seconds, because AI is now that leveler. AI is able to do even more. So as a business analyst, as a project manager, or as a scrum master, as a product owner, or whatever role that are of global importance, now companies are not only looking for guys who are within this space or who are within this global capabilities. For instance, you're a project coordinator. No, they're not just looking for you as a project coordinator, but they want to see how much of the AI skill you embody. And when I say AI skill, I'm not talking of the simple ChatGPT interactions or prompting and all that typically would happen. No, I'm talking about deep AI stuff like your ability to automate processes, your ability to engage AI as an agent, your ability to program AI, reprogram AI to becoming an agent, your ability to do even more things with AI. And you would find that companies are looking for guys who are leveled up, who are in this space, who are in this, who are in this space, because now we're talking AI, we're talking AI, we're talking AI. We are in the AI era. There's no bargaining it. So it's left for you and I to either take it or leave it because the world is just changing. So there's a global shift in work, and that's the message for today. So even if you don't hear anything that I've said before now, please hear the fact that there's a current global shift. AI is that next thing that had that particular thing in thing that we're currently at, and is currently the in thing that had caused a global shift, just like COVID did. So the shift that AI had caused is that companies are not only looking for remote workers, companies are looking for remote workers who are efficient, who work well with AI, who work well with automation tools, who work well with agents that make work faster for them, because companies want to turn over their revenues faster and faster by the day, and then they are looking for people who embody this these skills to be able to do even more for them and in the quickest time possible. So it's very important we know that we are currently experiencing a shift in the global space when it comes to work, and AI is actually that component that is driving this shift. Okay, very important we know that. Now, we look at why some professionals access global opportunities, just so it makes even more sense towards why people would even want global opportunities. Why are they able, why professionals would like to access global opportunities. We would be looking at this and trying to educate ourselves as to the main or the common reasons. And I think, as highlighted earlier, some of the reasons is that there are certain roles that are full of physical operations, administrative. These roles are just there, repetitive tasks. In fact, these roles are becoming more and more replaced. So if you find yourself in any role today that you do the same thing every day, I'm sorry to break it to you as a news, your job is at the verge of being taken over by AI, because any job that has a process, oh, you do it like this, you do it like that, it just follows a sequence. It just follows the same sequence. Every day you wake up, you do the same thing. Such jobs could be automated. All right. So such jobs, anytime you find yourself in such jobs, or if you're currently in such jobs, you better start thinking about leveling up, because it's very important you position yourself ahead of time. So you take of course, before you get the news from your company, it's better you are positioned, and then of course you're able to give the news to the company saying that you're moving ahead. That would be a better news to give rather than receiving the news that they'll be relieving you of your job. So it's very important if you're in the administrative role, a lot of repetitive tasks. If you're in the in fact, some of the HR roles, the hiring processes and all, most of them had been handed over to the to AI agents and all. If you are in operations, you do a lot of operational stuff that, of course, do not involve heavy lifting, because heavy lifting activities are also very relevant today. Again, because robotics had not come to that point, really. That's why you see humans are still occupying that role when it comes to heavy lifting, construction activities and all. But if you are in core repetitive tasks within administrative, within HR, some aspects of HR actually, please start thinking about upskilling. Now, if you're thinking about upskilling, what roles would you be thinking of? Some of the roles would include project management roles, business analysis role, program management roles, software engineering roles, data analytics roles. Why? Now, project management roles or business analysis roles, for instance, involves a lot of hard and soft skills, a lot of skills that would expose you to critical thinking, to certain soft skills that AI cannot actually not offer, like empathy, like your ability, your intuition, your ability to work by intuition, your ability to choose, the best outcome from two outcomes, your ability to chart a course, and your ability to even correct certain principles and certain practices once you embody the theory. Because these skills, of course, these roles involves core skills and hard skills, and once you embody these core skills, these core soft skills and hard skills, you would find that you are better able to use AI, because you'll be utilizing AI as an assistant more than AI replacing your job. So these roles are very important, and it's important for you to be able to position yourself. I will just tell you for free, it's very important you position yourself so that you're able to access global opportunities. Position yourselves within these roles, and you are better able to achieving the global competitiveness, and then you are better positioned, especially looking at AI and how AI is shifting the concept of work as we have it today. All right. Now, moving forward, you'll find that I just talked a bit about project management and business analysis and how it sits at the heart of digital transformation. Now, digital transformation is, think about digital transformation as companies, organization trying to do more for themselves, trying to transform, from the word transform, right? Trying to transform their businesses, their workspaces, their revenues. They're trying to transform their profits. They're trying to do all this, but they are leveraging digital tools. They are leveraging technology in transforming their revenues, in transforming the way they work or the way they operate, in transforming the profitability the organizations are currently at. So you find that transformation for organizations and companies today is non-negotiable. That's the only reason why you would find organizations looking for project managers, for instance, project managers to drive certain project initiatives that are very unique to the organizations. Now, within the software industry, or within the IT industry, there's something they call SaaS, software as a service, and there's something they call customized applications. Now, software as a service, like SaaS applications, are applications, for instance, that you, of course, can just buy. You can just, like, for instance, there's this they call Fresh Desk. It's a it's a customer service application where you can just opt for it as a company. You can subscribe to this application, and then enroll your customer service agent. Already on that application, everything you might be requiring had been pre-installed into that application. So it's a software as a service. I'll tell you today, companies around the world, especially the big fours, are not looking for project managers because of the SaaS applications. No, they're not looking for project managers because they want to create a SaaS application. They are looking for project managers because they want to create an application that applies to them uniquely. Take, for instance, an organization has a process of so this organization, one of the times I worked in one project, so it's a quick service restaurant. So this organization, they were thinking about automating a particular process within their workspace. That process entails, typically before now, it was a manual process. So there's something they call stock taking, stock counts, within the accounting space. So this organization, they typically would, after every month, at the end of every month, they will send guys who are stock takers to go around their retail stores to count stock manually. So this helped them to ascertain what we call cost of sales. It helped them in the computation of their cost of sales, so that before they open the next financial period, which is the next month, they know their closing. They are able to know their closing for this month. Now, this organization, they want to automate end-to-end the entire process around. I just gave you a hint as to what they do and what this application is meant to do. Just automating their stock valuation process. Okay. Now, they contracted our organization, and I was part of the team who went into requirement gathering and everything, and we developed an application, a unique application that might be tweaked before being used by any other organization, but that aligns totally with this company's principles, this company's mode of operation, standard of operation, this company's SLAs, like service level agreements, they have at different times. So this application we developed is called a customized application. That is why businesses need business analysts and project managers these days. Because while we have more and more AI to building websites and software as a service kind of websites, AI do not build customized applications. So anytime you hear that AI tool, for instance, is taking the job of the guys who are in the software development space because they are building applications, trust me, that is not applicable to guys who are building applications that are unique to organizations. And that's why organizations need you guys. Organizations need project managers, they need business analysts, they need software testers, they need scrum masters, because they want to build unique solutions, because they have outstanding ideas. They have ideas that the world do not have as at today. They have ideas that the world is not even ready for. So to drive such ideas, to drive such transformational ideas, they need digital partners. They need digital understanding. They need guys with digital understanding. They need guys who understands how to drive this digitally. And that's where digital transformation sits when organizations talk about digital transformation. So they embark on a lot of projects, they embark on a lot of idea generation, they embark on a lot of transformational journeys to bring about projects that actually meets the need of their specific goal, right? So they need guys who already understands this digital journey, who can make this happen and quick and fast. So that's why they need you. And that's why they are looking for people like you all around the world. That's why a company in the US can employ someone who has this skill somewhere in the UK, somewhere in Nigeria, somewhere in Pakistan, somewhere in India. So that's why these companies residing anywhere in the world can seek for people like you. But the big question is, do you have the skill? Do you have the skill set? Are you currently positioned in terms of global capability? Do you know what it takes, or do you have what it takes to be employed by this organization? And that's where the question, would be, of course, posed to you at this time. So it's important if you answer these questions. But from my end, or from my standpoint, I'll tell you the Agile Foundation eSchool is big on trainings on project management business analysis that are relevant to today's global transformational phase, because the world is changing. Businesses are changing the way they do things. So we currently understand, of course, within the Agile Foundation eSchool, we understand some of this, the intricacies of some of this, these transformational journeys of organizations, be it in the oil and gas, be it in the finance, be it in IT space. We understand this dynamics, and then we have structured trainings for some of you in the oil and gas, or who are pitching to become oil and gas professionals, either as a project manager or business analyst. Of course, we have courses structured with core project management frameworks that applies to oil and gas specifically, because oil and gas project management is a different ball game at all, at all levels. So we have masterclass trainings on such. Of course, that will be rolled out in April. I think the next class is coming up in April. Is a masterclass course for guys who are seeking to go into the oil and gas, either as a project manager or as business analyst, or as scrum masters. You have the opportunity to learn frameworks that are applicable to the oil and gas sectors alone. And tell me, and trust me, the reason why project management in the oil and gas space is quite different from the general project management we have, in other spaces, is because just one reason I'll give you: the fact that investing in the oil and gas is usually very huge. So you hear things like $3 billion, $300 billion. Imagine making mistakes in such projects, and that would be catastrophic, right? So you would require some certain understanding of certain frameworks, so that when you find yourself in such spaces, you are able to really play within the the context of that environment, and then you're able to suit. Of course, that makes it easy for you to secure roles within the oil and gas, just in case you're pitching in that direction. Okay. Yeah. So, do we have any question at this time? Let me see if there are other questions before as we draw the curtains gradually to a close. Questions? Anything at all you want to say? All right. Oh, okay. Okay, great. Anyone else with questions, comments, anything at all? Okay. So I will just proceed by saying again that trust me, there are a number of these courses. A highlight of them, of course, I had provided who is a Scrum Master. Initially, I had given a hint in previous sessions. I had given a hint as to the fact that Scrum Master is typically someone who leads a Scrum team. So the details of that, of course, would be further given during the course of the training. But think about a Scrum Master as someone who manages a team, driving innovation or driving digital transformation. So you manage the team. So there are certain values, certain frameworks, certain principles that you follow in managing the Scrum team, and there are certain learnings you must have. There's certain understanding you must have for you to be able to manage a digital transformation team, right? So that's where the Scrum Master sits. So we also have business analysts. So the business analysts really are the guys who sits in between the business and what they want to achieve. So imagine a business wants to achieve $100 billion revenue in the year 2030. So it's a business analyst that would see the vision and would draw up the different opportunities and identify the different gaps in their current environment. Identifying this gap will help you to close them. So if you identify the different gaps, identifying the different opportunities, and helping this business to leverage on all these opportunities and close all these gaps to achieving that target. So business analysts are actually the guys that we call them change agents. So a lot of the activities, revolve around driving change, transformational in the transformational journey of any organization. They drive the change, they facilitate this transformational journey, basically speaking. So business analysts are big in terms of this context. So we have, of course, project managers. Project managers are similar to Scrum Masters, but of course, there are certain unique projects that we refer to them as project managers because more specifically, they drive projects from time perspective, they drive projects from scope perspective, quality perspective, benefit perspective. They are more streamlined to managing certain core project. We call them key factors, project performance factors, or key six pillars, of course, like I had highlighted here. So they manage these items, they manage time, they make sure that we don't go outside time, they manage cost, they make sure that whatever we have set out to achieve is what we're achieving. They also make sure that whatever benefit we had set out to achieve is what we're achieving. So they are also very big on driving a team, a transformational team, to achieving the goal that they have set out to achieve in the first place. So we have product owners or product managers. Of course, these are strategists, the guys also who see the big picture, just like very similar to the business analyst, but they have very long time role because they do not only play a part in identifying how we can drive this change. They see the change from start to finish, up until when this change begins to to yield benefits. So they see the change up until that point. All right. So product managers, of course, there's a lot around product management, which of course the Agile Foundation e-school would also expose one to. So for some of you, of course, who are thinking about migrating, because of course these courses open you up for migration should you want to. There are migration paths for the UK, for Australia, for Canada, for Germany. There are a lot of migration paths for you. So yes, employers are sponsoring foreign workers for these jobs that are available, right? So either that you are securing these jobs and playing a remote role, you are also able to secure these roles and be sponsored to be in the countries of these roles.